Comic fans, what's going on? Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Oh, almost dropped my mic. Mike dropping his mic. Hope you guys have all been doing well, staying safe and sound. Today we're going to take a look at a custom bind, mostly talk about the Valiant series contained therein. This is RAI by Dan Abnett, Adam Polina, and Juan Jose Rip. An absolute powerhouse set of creators. This is the run that came after Matt Kint's run on RAI, along with 4001 AD. This custom bind I made collects Fallen World, a 5-issue miniseries, followed by the RAI ongoing series that came afterwards, ran for about 12 issues. If you're unfamiliar with this, there are going to be minor spoilers. Of course, I can't not spoil this, considering I need to talk about Matt Kint's run in order to explain what's happening in this run. The good thing is you can jump into this run without knowing every single detail of Matt Kint's run. There's a pretty good synopsis and filler sort of segments in here that catch you up a little bit on what's been going on. New Japan has fallen, and with the remnants of New Japan having fallen to the dead earth, we now have the aftermath of what's happened. RAI believed Father was finished, but it turns out that's not the case. Somehow Father ends up getting a new body. I won't spoil that much, but it's a very, very cool story. I really enjoyed Fallen World. I forget how much creators can squeeze into 5 issues sometimes. You get a great story with the first 5 issues. You find out the new sort of status quo with RAI, where he's at in his life, what's happening in the world. You get to see characters like Gilad come back. You get to see War Mother come in here, who I think up until this point really only had a mini-series, but you get to see War Mother in here as well, a great character, who I would love to know more about. I'd love to see a series for that character one day. You get to see other characters within the RAI mythos return, and the Fallen World mini is entirely drawn by Adam Polina, and then you get the RAI ongoing that was done, I believe, completely by Juan Jose Rip, 12 issues if I'm not mistaken. Fantastic story that's sort of a Western road trip meets feudal Japanese AI technology. It's a crazy mix with a lot of interesting concepts explored. You know, AI and robotics and synthetic intelligence and bioorganics are becoming far more prevalent in our day and age, in our world, and they will continue to be, I'm sure. So it's really interesting to see some of those concepts explored here. RAI trying to find some semblance of humanity within himself, trying to connect more with the potential human side of himself, him interacting with Raijin, who was one of the very early versions of the RAI type character in New Japan, them sort of working together as younger brothers, as they essentially try to destroy remaining fragments of Father, these replicated backups, where if Father gets access to all these backups, he'll become more and more powerful, which is a problem. Because for those of you that don't know, Father was an artificial intelligence that was basically a dictator. He was basically a tyrant, a tyrannical dictator who created a simple and easy life for a small percentage of humans in New Japan, but made it horrific for other percentages of humans and biosynthetic organisms that lived on New Japan. Juan Jose Rip's artwork is absolutely phenomenal in this. There is a bit more gore than I would have expected in a Valiant title. Not that I'm complaining, but it's there. I had this book bound by Lehman Bookbinding, who I have bind all my books, located in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Fantastic bindery. They did an amazing job with this book. It reads beautifully. It's 17 issues, so it's not very heavy. It's not overly large. It's not difficult to read. It's a book you can literally walk around with in your hand. It's fantastic in that sense. Like I said, Juan Jose Rip's artwork is absolutely phenomenal. I really dig his style, and I think it works really well for this sort of earthbound version of RAI, whereas with the New Japan version of RAI, you had artists like Clayton Crane, I think it was Kano. I hope that's right. Amazing artwork there too. It's really cool to see the various segments of New Japan, how they fall into Earth and how they've influenced the new version of Earth, the progression of Earth. You get to see what was happening on Earth during the time of New Japan, how the survivors, if you will, how the Earthbound basically found a way to survive, to adapt, how new mutations were created, and how Father is essentially operating in this new world as this new being that he's become. Fantastic. I love the amount of variety in this. I love the change of pace that it is from the Matt Kint run. It doesn't have the exact same feel as the Matt Kint run. That was really lightning in a bottle that was captured, the Matt Kint run. It's one of the best runs on any comic series ever, in particular superhero comics. Matt Kint just really nailed it in every single way with that RAI series and 4001 AD. But Dan Abnett comes in hot and heavy with a really interesting take on the character. A great story that keeps you on your toes, keeps you guessing what's around the corner, what new sort of faction are these characters going to run into, what new obstacle are they going to run into, how is RAI going to have to adapt, how is he going to have to change his thought process, the way he treats Raijin, the way he views the world. It's really well done. I really enjoyed it. It's a great exploration of creativity, and it's still, take a look at the binding there. I mean, look at that beauty. Ooh. It's one of the things that I really enjoy in particular about Valiant is that these creators will leave other creators in a bit of a rut, and they need to find out how to make a new compelling story with this crazy scenario that the character has been left in. And I really enjoyed what Abnett, Polina, and Rip did with this. Cannot recommend checking it out enough. I don't think there's an official deluxe edition for this, but you can pick up the trade paperbacks, read it on Comixology, what have you. Just be sure to enjoy this. It's a great run on RAI, even though, in my opinion, the newer Valiant stuff hasn't been as enjoyable as the sort of golden age, as I've been calling it, that was 2012 to 2018. But anyway, I digress. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Have you read this run of RAI? What do you think? Please be sure to let us know down in the comment section below. Check out organicpricebooks.com, the best place to go for hardcover releases. Use the promo code THC2. It'll get you an extra $2 off your order. Thank you all very much. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. As always, until next time, you stay classy, Internet.